delicious chocolatey Tootsie Rolls. Boy, they're cram jam full of energy. Have more energy units in one penny Tootsie Roll than you use circling the bases 36 times. So next time you have a penny to spend or a nickel, well, if you have a nickel, get the big jumbo-sized Tootsie Roll. A nickel Tootsie Roll is still 5 cents.
Yeah, next month, I'll be 89.
This is Sam Allen.
I was born April the 25th, 1936. Born at the house. The midwife was supposed to deliver me. She had to go deliver another baby. So when she got back, my grandmama had delivered me. And during those days, you know, they would put you in a drawer, dresser drawer, and put a pillow in the dresser drawer. So you don't remember that, see? Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the often imitated, never duplicated, high-swinging, fast-running, no-nonsense, squeaky Letterman jacket-wearing former Negro League player.
My name is Samuel Lewis Allen. I'm from Norfolk, Virginia. Born, raised, a Norfolk born, Norfolk red, and when I die, be a Norfolk dead. My first memory was picking up a baseball. See, I lived with my grandfather and with my grandmother and my mother. My father was dead. So the baseball park was on Church and Rubber Street, about 3 blocks. It was just about, it was in the neighborhood. So I used to go when I was about 4 years old. My grandfather would carry me to the baseball games because it was cheap. And my grandmama would make him carry me. So at night, when the game was over, he had to bring me home. I fell in love with baseball when I was about 5 years old. I knew the players, knew how to umpire, call the strike balls. So then when I went to elementary school, I started playing, and I used to go around with my glove in my belt. And at Barrard Park, I used to play.
Sam was the talk of the town. People would say,
he's about 5'7", real skinny, strong, fast, and he could hit the ball a long ways because I had a lot of strength. I was strong for a small man. Yeah, I could hit the ball up. I could hit a home run, see, and I could run real fast. Yeah, I could run. I could really run. Yeah, I'm left-handed. Yeah, but the only problem is wondering if I would be large enough to play. I tell you, I was fortunate that I was 156 pounds back in 1953, and I'm 150 pounds now, so about 3 to 6 pounds from all that time. I didn't have a problem with the weight. But life's been good to me. I got a deformed arm, was able to throw with this arm, played football with the arm. Matter of fact, at Booker T, I've got the scoring record in football. I scored 6 touchdowns and 4 extra points in one game. So I was blessed with talent. But baseball, I played baseball, and I had a lot of older fellows that mentored me, and they saw something in me, and they would drink and they would smoke, but they saw that I didn't drink or smoke, and maybe that's why I'm able to live a long life. But they wouldn't let me drink or smoke, see? And that was one reason, because they said I had a chance to make it.
In the last half of the second inning, Robinson gets the first hit off fourth. It's a homer into the left field stand.
Enter Jackie Robinson and Satchel Paige. They weren't just names on rosters. They were visions walking, living proof that the gates could open and black boys could walk through with cleats on and heads high. In 1947, when Jackie broke the color line and Satchel followed in 1948, they weren't just making history. They were handing out mirrors. Mirrors that said, yes, you too belong in the big leagues. They stood on dusty diamonds and became a picture of possibility for every boy with a bent glove, a crooked arm, or a $6 dream in his back pocket. They didn't just integrate the game, they integrated hope.
When Jackie Robinson integrated, that's when we all started to try to be baseball players. Everybody wanted to be a baseball player. I went to one of the camps, and I thought that I had made the team, but I didn't. But I met a fellow that played with the Kansas City Monarchs. If you see the KC, this was the team that Jackie Robinson played with in 1945, and Satchel Paige, and I played with him in 57. So we all Monarchs. I played with the last championship team of the Kansas City Monarchs in 1957. I called the fellow when I got cut from the Cincinnati Red minor league team. I came home, and I had $25. I was frustrated, and I met this fellow named Bob Mitchell, and I called him. He said, come down to Jacksonville, Florida. He was with the Monarchs. He said, you can make this team. So I waited until my mama went downtown, because, during that time, your mama was going to talk you out of it, saying, now, why you going to Jacksonville, Florida? You don't know anyone in Jacksonville. You don't have any money. So I got me a $19 ticket, and I took off to Jacksonville with $6 in my pocket. When I got to Jacksonville, the team was getting ready to come back to play in Charleston. So I had to get off one bus, get on another bus. When we got to Charleston, I never forget, on Easter Sunday, 1957, the team that the Monarchs were supposed to play, the players, they didn't show up. He showed up with 3 players. He said that the bus had broke down. So the Monarchs told me, said, well, we don't usually do this, but you have to play with the Jacksonville All-Stars. I said, okay. So I played with Jacksonville. They hadn't seen me play. I hadn't been to bed from Thursday night till a Sunday afternoon. So I played with the Jacksonville All-Stars. So the first time up, I think I got a hit, stole a base. Next time up, I struck out, and I thought about it. I said, now, you don't have $6 in your pocket, so now if you get cut, you stranded. And I can't call my mama, see, now I'd rather, look, I got to go jump overboard rather than call my mama, because she's going to tell me, stay down there. So the next time up, I hit a home run. And that evening, the man signed me with a contract. I didn't even look at the contract, because it was $150. Yeah, so that was the beginning of my career with the Negro Leagues. I thought I loved baseball until we started traveling. In Negro League, you travel, you play Monday through Thursday, 1 game. Friday, you play 2 games. Saturday, you play 2 games. Sunday, you play 3 games or 4 games. And you ride. That's after the game, you get on the bus, you take a shower. One great thing was that most ballparks had hot showers. You could take a hot shower, get some peanut butter. I had kept a jar of peanut butter and honey in a bag, and you get on that bus and you ride all night. And we had one fellow that didn't play that well, but he could tell jokes. He'd tell jokes across 3 states. Then the next night, he'd tell some more jokes, but he wouldn't tell the same jokes. I mean, he was a comedian. On the back of the bus, they had a table where they could play cards. But I didn't play cards. I hold the light so they could play it. We had the jazz on the radio. We had radio, and during that time, there was 2 stations late at night you could hear all over the country. But we had a bus driver. Now, if we lost, he said, you're not going to listen to that in the radio. So it would be silent. I mean, he took it serious. So, but that's why we always tried to win, so we could listen to the music. It was hard, but it was a good life. I loved it. I tell you, I took a calculated risk going out there. And in the first year, I led the league in runs scored. And I went back the next year, and I thought I was going to be with the Monarchs. But a fellow that played in 1947, name was Willard Brown, he came back to the Monarchs. So they sent me to Raleigh. And that was the year I could have stayed home. I'm up in West Virginia. The man left us up there. I'm stranded in West Virginia, got a suitcase, a record player, and a baseball bag on the side of the highway hitchhiking. I called my mama and told her, I said, look, I'm stranded. Send me some money. She said, you must be crazy. I'll send you a bus ticket. So I said, no, I wasn't ready to come home. So my uncle sent me $50 and I went to Raleigh rather than come to Norfolk. And when I got to Raleigh, the owner of the team gave me some of my money. He didn't give me all, but he gave me some of my money. Yeah. So that year, that was 58. Then 59, I went to Memphis, the Memphis Red Sox. Now that was a classy outfit. So I played at Memphis. When I got home that year, that December, I got one of those long letters, and they said, your friends and neighbors and the President of the United States who chosen you got to go into service. So that killed the career. I had to go into service. That's when they were drafting. They didn't make it if you had one eye or whatever. Yeah, but one arm is straight, and the other arm is about 3 or 4 inches where it won't stretch out. So, I mean, my grandmama birthed me, so normally if you go in the hospital, they would have broke it and reset it, But they didn't, during that time, they didn't, know anything about breaking it and resetting it. When I went into service, they looked at it and so the man said, he said, yeah, well, you played baseball, so don't worry about it. I had to go into service in 1960. So stayed in the service from 61, got out in 62, and I went in the 82nd Airborn, but I was fortunate that while I was in the service, I played football, baseball, and I was on the battle group basketball team, so that was good. I lived a good life in the service, so I was in the 82nd Airborn, and that's my story, and I'm going to stick with it.
And stick to it he did. Mr. Allen still works with the Boys and Girls Club to encourage young people to play baseball. He even has a scholarship to help round out those $6 dreams. You can donate to that fund by clicking the link in the show notes. You can also see a plaque in his honor inside Harbor Park, which was built in 1993. He was also awarded a National Association of Professional Baseball Leagues Lifetime Pass that allows him entry into any stadium in the world. Visit our website, truthbetoldcommunity.com, to find out ways to get involved. And share this episode with friends. This series was written by Jackie Glass and Hannah Sobel, edited and hosted by me, Nicole Hill, sound design by Trindell Lightburn, and our work has been supported by the Elizabeth River Trail Foundation through a National Park Service Chesapeake Gateways grant. You can follow our work by subscribing wherever you get your podcasts. We couldn't do this without people brave enough to share their experiences. So thank you, Sam Allen.